right, famously anti-Semitic founder of the Walt Disney Company. You milk it. You milk it for every last drop.
I created a multi-billion-dollar.
All right, buddy, get your head out of your ass and put it back in the freezer. I would have bullied the fuck out of this kid. And I did musical theater. They finally make it to the house and find that all of the props and makeup from the set are still there for some reason, which is like, Basan, buddy, you made the original films. Are you telling me that you just cut the cameras and left all of your shit in a random house in Normandy?
Like, this setup doesn't work because you made the actual original goddamn movie!
After a while, the only person in the group with even a toddler's level of observation skills mentions that it's strange that Momo and Paloo haven't shown up yet. So they take about 5 minutes to yell their names and then inexplicably set up camp for the night instead of just, I don't know, staying in the house. During the night, Blondie here accidentally gives a random cell phone left in the grass a golden shower, which turns out to be their friend Momo's, but no one is really worried about this at all. After things get steamy between Alex and Sam, within literally 2 feet of all of their friends, hey, maybe that's just a French thing, the rest of the group then find the garden gnome that was used in the original films to mark the passage of the Minimoy world, except, oh my god, it literally looks like a Dollar Tree version of the actual gnome. Basan, it was your own goddamn movies. How are you possibly this up? Then these two blondes finally realize that their friend Momo has been hanging above them the whole time they've been in the river. How the hell did they not see him sooner? Then this Einstein proceeds to go untie the rope holding Momo, steps directly into a bear trap, and immediately drops Momo, snapping his neck instantly. But neither of them give a single molecular fuck about Momo. They break the trap and then they just scamper away even though they technically just murdered him. What? And a tree has been cut down and smashed into the vehicle that they have the keys for, and even though looking at it, it's pretty obvious that they could have easily moved the tree off and driven the car anyways, they decide to panic instead and look for Douglas, who has the other set of keys. But not before Basan sneaks in this little gem.
Hey, John, don't you know how to get into cars and jumpstart them like they do in the movies?
Why? Because I'm black?
Okay. Back at the house, Matilda sees a figure watching from a window and locks herself in the barn to hide, where she is stung to death by bees, which she is apparently deathly allergic to. Meanwhile, Alex and Jean find Doug's severed arms in the forest and Thing One in the vehicle. Alex and Jean literally hear their anguish screaming and they promise to come back for them if anything went wrong, but they decide they're just gonna get the girls instead. Looks like chivalry isn't dead. Good job, fellas. But oh no, they're too late. Some computer science major looking dude cuts the swing Sam is sitting on. And the porch that they've been walking on all day without any trouble suddenly crumbles like 1-ply toilet paper underneath her, and she falls into a hole leading to the cellar. In a weird cult room in the cellar that looks like it was put together with props from Party City, Alex finds Paloo's body, but who cares? 'Cause Sam's alive, right? Seriously, what did Momo and Paloo do to make this friend group hate them so much? Nobody reacts to their deaths at all. Did they do like an offensive impression at a party or something? This guy, dressed as the main villain, Malthazar, which I'm sorry, he's not winning any prizes at Comic-Con for that costume, but damn, he should enter the Olympics. Look at that jump. Excellent form. Shot by, oh my god, remember Krusty Teeth from the beginning? He's here to save the day. He kills the remaining cosplayers and then basically tells Alex, I told you so, idiot. Why the hell did you come here? Like, that's valid. The police roll in just in time to look around and say, yep, everyone's dead. Oh, and by the way, that girl in your group that all of you ignored and bullied, disgusting! Dead. Wait, there was another girl with us? Like, seriously, no one ever notices that she's gone until the very end. This is the worst friend group ever. Then the police tell them that the people that attacked them were just random teenagers from the local town that like to do hardcore role plays, drugs, and kill each other. Ah yes, Luc Besson, you are so in touch with the youth. I remember being bored in high school and thinking to myself, you know what would be really fun? Dressing up like characters from a shitty movie released in 2006 that nobody cares about and stabbing my friends. You really got me there, buddy. So yeah, that's an hour and 27 minutes of my life that I will never get back. I could have used that time to call my aging grandmother or volunteer at a soup kitchen or even engage in debate with someone on Twitter with an anime profile picture, but no, I chose to watch this movie instead. So yeah, the negative reviews are, definitely deserved. Everything from the acting to the writing to the editing, it literally made me feel like I was watching a high school film project. And I guess the one thing we can get out of all of this is that, Luc Besson should be in prison. Not me though. I am incredibly rich and wealthy through perfectly legal and ethical means. It is incredible to me that these gentlemen have as much money as they do, and yet they still have the same sense of style as frat boys that have to split the cost of a Crystal Palace vodka 4 ways. LOL, ROFL, hashtag POV me when families are starving on the streets, hashtag me drinking my wine and stroking my expensive purses, eat dirt pores, I'm quirky and cool. Isn't this so relatable and hashtag girl boss of me?
Call 24/7.
You're gonna tip a barista who makes minimum wage, is on their feet all day long, wakes up at 7 a.m. to open, has been screamed at by 5 random white women already today, and is scrambling to process multiple orders because the location they work at is severely understaffed, but you won't tip me? The guy who will definitely ignore your calls unless they're made Monday through Thursday between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. Oh, come on!
This isn't a restaurant. Okay, so you'll tip an extra 25% for somebody to carry you a basket of chicken wings, but you won't tip someone who responds for after-hours emergency calls?
You're gonna tip the waitress that makes less than minimum wage, has to multitask the demands of 10 different tables, received a death threat because somebody's burger had a pickle on it even though nobody mentioned that they didn't want pickles, and be hit on aggressively by a customer old enough to be her grandfather, but you won't tip me, the guy who will definitely drag my feet for 7 months just to fix a leaky faucet.
Well, I guess when it's time for your lease renewal, I'm gonna make sure gratuity is included in your rent.
Oh, that's awesome. So, his solution to not being tipped for not offering a service is theft. I'm pretty sure adding gratuity and not notifying the person receiving the bill that you're adding gratuity is kind of super duper illegal. Even restaurants will have like a little notice at the bottom of their receipts if gratuity is included in the bill.
It's a little tip I learned from 2 Guys Take on Real Estate.
Committing fraud. It's a little tip that I learned from 2 Guys Take on Real Estate.
You have to put a 30-day notice. You could leave peacefully on time.
Look, I'm calling your brothers and I dare you to try to pull up and give us the eviction notice.
I'm sorry guys. It's just really hard to, it's just really hard to watch this because he's just a landlord doing his job and just trying to make a profit, and like all he's doing is ruining her life. Like, why does she have to be so mean?
I literally don't know what.
Hey, I noticed that I got a pet fee, except that there's literally never been a pet in this apartment. Can you explain that? Yes, that is for emotional damage. Oh, emotional what? Well, actually, it's quite simple. So when I saw you having that happy moment with that cat from the bushes that I watch you from, what? It reminded me of the trauma of when I was a little bitty landlord child, and I asked my mother for a cat, and she said no, so that is for emotional damage. So your emotional damage is worth $300? $5.87. That's correct. This dude is so incredibly bold. Like, imagine trying to apply this logic to literally any other scenario.
Hey, so I noticed that you often leave your children unsupervised in the backyard, so I just took the initiative to watch them play for you. Excuse me, what? I didn't ask you to do that. So yeah, since I've been providing you with childcare services for the past 3 months, you actually owe me $900. Wait, you've been watching my kids?
Hey, sorry. I heard that your roommate died. I imagine that was very traumatizing. But you know what is even more traumatizing? Finding a replacement for your lease. Is that gonna be cash or check? But sometimes landlords do even worse things than doubling your rent or coming up with ridiculous, fraudulent charges. Sometimes they sneak into your home and they do very questionable things.
You better stop!
Disgusting! What is that?
Red alert! Looks like we got ourselves a sniffer, boys. Is it bad for me to say that our white trash brother here looks like the type of person that would enter a woman's home without permission and sniff her belongings? Well, thank God somebody walked in. I don't even want to know what he was gonna do with the laundry basket. But hey, we've been ragging on men for a while. Let's check in on those sexy landladies.
Because this is not what I expected